If you were a wrestling fan in 1997, there was certainly a lot to talk about. The New World Order was in full swing, The Rock was on the rise, Stone Cold Steve Austin was becoming a household name, D-Generation X began its string of ongoing antics, and the smaller-based ECW promotion was making waves among die-hard fans. But for me, my heart, pun intended, goes out to 5 individuals either born or trained in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the Hart Foundation. In this video, we go over my personal collection of Mattel-based Hart Foundation figures, going through my choice of figure for each character. This video will be part of an ongoing showcase series where I feature various character subsets and figure groupings in my own collection. While the Hart Foundation initially consisted of Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart as a tag team from the mid-80s until 1991, it was the 1997 stable grouping that I remember the most fondly. Formed just after WrestleMania 13 that year, the stable had a nearly 8-month run before disbanding that November for, let's say, screwjob reasons beyond the scope of this video. Memorable for being vilified anti-Americans, but cheered as heroes in Canada and other parts of the world, the group had a unique dynamic that will likely never be replicated again. And with that, let's have a look at each figure. The youngest of the Hart clan, this Owen Hart figure is a custom that I found while scouring the purchasing pit known as eBay. Through the help of friends, I was able to acquire an Intercontinental title, 2 Slammy Awards, and a custom jacket. This figure did come in the mail though with a pair of removable sunglasses. It is unfortunate though that due to circumstances out of the control of Mattel, an Owen Hart figure was never released in this scale or style. I should note though that this figure seems to represent a slightly longer-haired version of Owen during the prevalent time in his career when he famously feuded with his brother Bret in 1994. In 1997, he had buzzed off some of this hair when he joined the Hart Foundation, but hey, I love the figure either way. It was also during this time when Owen held not only the Intercontinental title, but also found success as a tag team with the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. And speaking of Davey Boy, he's had multiple figures released as part of Mattel's WWE Elite line, spanning as many title reigns as you can see here. As for his Hart Foundation run in 1997, I've got the Legends Series 3 version here, which came with his jacket as part of the release. As we do a turnaround of this figure, you'll see that the tassels and tights are pretty accurate to how we remember him. Since he was the European champion during this era of his career, I've added one around his waist for good measure. Arguably the strongest man in the WWE during this period, the Bulldog put on plenty of good matches in both the singles as well as the tag division, all while being a cornerstone member of the Hart Foundation. And now, check your pulse please, because things are about to get a little crazy with a certain loose cannon coming up next. Having honed his wrestling skills in the famous Hart Family dungeon, as well as playing football in the CFL with the Calgary Stampeders, it is no wonder that Brian Pillman was a natural fit for the 1997 Hart Foundation stable. While this Legends 3 version does come with a pretty cool entrance vest, I've taken it upon myself to add a custom vest with the name Pillman on the back, just so he can match his fellow Hart Foundation group mates a little bit better. In a way though, I do feel that this head scan of his is a little too embellished and doesn't come off quite as natural as I would like in a figure, but that's totally okay. I know they're trying to represent his loose cannon and lunatic character as much as possible, so I totally understand why they did it, particularly as he needed to be seen as being somewhat insane when he was feuding with Hart Foundation enemies such as the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin. As for the next member of the Foundation, this Jim the Anvil Neidhart figure is from Elite Series 43. Unfortunately, at the time I bought it, I didn't know what it would take to complete him, so what I ended up doing was getting him without the sunglasses, but I did manage to find a pair of Jack's sunglasses from a Hart Foundation Jack set that I'm using on him at the moment. He's got the custom jacket, similar to what Owen Hart and my Brian Pillman have, so definitely happy about that. Jim joined the Hart Foundation in 1997, again, after an extended absence from the WWE. I'm glad he did join because, hey, it just looks more complete with him there in the group. Being a member of both the original Hart Foundation as well as the 1997 reincarnation has made Jim the Anvil Neidhart's career quite memorable. A quick note and a side fact, Jim got his nickname from winning an anvil toss at the Calgary Stampede in his younger years. And so that leaves us with the leader of the Hart Foundation, and also, I should note, my favorite wrestler of all time. The words best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be is far more than just a slogan or a moniker to me. It really does represent how I feel about Bret the Hitman Hart. This figure is from Mattel's Defining Moments series, and certainly wasn't the easiest figure to get on the secondary market. If you do track it down though, it is a pretty cool figure since it does come with his leather jacket sporting the words Hitman on the back, a winged eagle world title for added value, as well as a Canadian flag. And overall, the box is packed in a special packaging that looks quite different from the rest of Mattel's other offerings. During this particular time with the Hart Foundation, Bret won his 5th world title from The Undertaker at the 1997 SummerSlam and went on to hold the title for 3 more months before he left the company. Now, I should also note that before his time with the Hart Foundation, Bret was very obviously an accomplished wrestler, having won the world title, intercontinental title, and tag team title, as well as the King of the Ring, not to mention various titles in Stampede Wrestling, and went on to win multiple titles in WCW as well. Widely considered the locker room leader during the New Generation era of WWE from 1993 to 1997, this figure in my mind represents the quintessential version of Bret Hart and is how I like to remember him in his prime. While the purpose of this video is to talk about the 1997 Hart Foundation figures that are on my shelf, any discussion about Bret the Hitman Hart does warrant a quick visitation of his title history. There are a number of different Bret Hart figures, though, that would go well on a Hart Foundation shelf. So if you are looking for other versions, please do a quick search on the internet, or if you'd like, please visit my previous video where I compare several Bret the Hitman Hart figures on my channel. As you can tell, this era of the Hart Foundation is quite memorable to me as a fan watching wrestling. I was a teenager during the time that this was on TV and living in Canada, so obviously there's a little bit of bias there. I won't try to hide it. I'm still living in Canada now, albeit not a teenager anymore. But just getting back on track here, one thing that does make this Hart Foundation quite precious to me is the fact that we never really saw a fitting end to it. We got kind of an abrupt end there in 1997 in November, and because me personally, I was left craving more, it made it all the more precious and memorable in my mind. If I am playing fantasy booker, though, in my own brain, I would have loved to see the Hart Foundation, all 5 members, get titles all at the same time, much in the same way that Evolution as a stable did in 2003 at the Armageddon pay-per-view. Hey, dare to dream. It's fun, right? And while we are on the topic of fantasy booking, it would have been cool to see Dynamite Kid join the Hart Foundation as well. Unfortunately, he was retired at the time. I'll certainly never forget some of the more important moments of this Hart Foundation's run in the WWE, such as the In Your House Canadian Stampede pay-per-view, which had probably the greatest crowd reaction, or at least one of the greatest crowd reactions I've ever seen in wrestling history, or Bret's feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin in the run-up to the formation of the Hart Foundation. As for my journey as a collector as well as a wrestling fan, the one thing I do want to point out here is that simply obtaining these 5 figures for my Hart Foundation collection was a journey and a bit of a challenge in of itself. The Defining Moments Bret Hart, the legends Brian Pillman, and British Bulldog, as well as the older elite version of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, were not available by the time I wanted to buy them, so I had to go get them from the secondary market. Not to mention the custom Owen Hart, which I had to scour the internet for and just wait for the right time, the right price, and the right looking figure that would fit my collection. Since it's unlikely we'll ever see an Owen Hart figure done by Mattel, I decided to go the route that I did. And that there concludes my virtual tour of my WWE 7-inch scale Hart Foundation figure collection. I hope the video was fun and insightful for you. As for the channel, please like and subscribe if you already haven't. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you again soon with some more cool and fun toys. Take care, everyone.